Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was there.
Jeez. Gee whiz. Come on.
Left neck and trap usually tight during the week.
Been dealing with that for a while. Is that
For a while.
getting worse, or is it staying the same?
No, it's staying about the same.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll go away. I think it's more stress related than anything.
And your work is mainly a lot of running around, a lot of driving, sitting. What's your posture look like through the day?
Yeah, I mean sitting, whether it's in a truck or at a desk, quite a bit.
Okay. Right hip. Tell me about that.
Just
Kind of more of the
kind of
glute.
that little, yeah.
More
And
the
you'll
glute
see
area?
where massage, they put some cups on there. It's a little
Okay.
tight.
Okay.
And then my low, kind of low mid back here lately. And then here,
Okay.
it's like
So
if I sit down,
Okay.
get up, roll wrong in bed, it feels like it's locking up.
There's a lot of attachments in here. So a lot of anchor points. You have your traps coming down, your lats, your diaphragm, quadratus lumborum from below. This is like Times Square. And so in some respects, it's actually good that you feel something in here, because the more this area moves, the more stress your lower back doesn't have to take.
Right.
So most people come in with the most severely destroyed lower backs, have no recollection or any feeling in here, and that kind of disturbs me more. So the fact that you feel your middle back, now I can feel it's tight, and I see some shoulder height misalignments here, and
Yeah.
and your body's going to be compensating because of, well, our posture's more forward than we're supposed to be, and so there's going to be tension in there. The lower back joints will refer pain to your glute. So it's really the lower back knuckles being overstressed, that glute tightness, and we'll work on the glute a little bit because we're trying to loosen the SI joint, but really the glute area, it's similar to how the lower neck will give you pain here in the shoulder blade.
Right.
It's called a referral pain, and in order to fix that, we have to get maybe some ice on it or stiffen it up, and we got to move the stress off the lower back to your middle back. I know you've been to chiropractors. Did anybody talk about lordosis or curve at all? No mention of. Okay, well, so chiropractic gets very short term if we don't try to aim your spine back to it being curved. Your lumbar region shouldn't be ortho or
Right.
straight. If it is, all the stress continually goes down here, and then if you're rounded forward, the muscles are all tight, and that tension you're feeling in your middle back, it's ultimately a postural issue where we have to bring you back to what we call the ideal alignment, where there's a curve in your lower back, your ears over your shoulder, there's a curve in your
Yeah,
neck.
right.
How do you feel in terms of restrictions when you turn your neck, or does it hurt when you turn your neck at all, when you turn your head left?
A little bit when I'm all the way.
Okay.
To the right, nothing.
But when you compress the joints in the left?
Back, yeah, right there. I mean, I can get all the way back, but
Pain.
probably 3/4.
Pain in the lower neck on the left?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And how about when you, like, say, turn your torso? Does it hurt, anything when you turn that hurt your lower
Little
back?
sore
On the right?
in the hip,
Okay.
and then actually in my left hip. And that way, not as much, but still feel it a little bit.
So you rotate to the right and you feel it on the
I can
left
feel it
side?
on my left.
Pulling,
Yeah.
okay.
And then to the left, I don't feel it as much to
Okay.
the right.
All right. Let's see how we're doing here. Take a deep breath in for me. Little sit up. And then exhale for me. Let it all go. Keep exhaling. Deep breath in. I got you. Let it go. Deep breath in. I got you. One more. Let it go. Good. All right. Yeah, we got work to do. We had some movement. Like I said, I could tell that you could feel your middle back because it wasn't totally frozen. That first couple some bones moved.
Yeah.
That's actually, I'm glad that that's not totally, if that was totally frozen, we'd be in trouble. So you've had some care. People have checked that. But the postural component, I think, is what we're missing here. You know, we have to, the adjustment in and of itself, I wish I could tell you that is change your posture.
Right.
It won't work. Their chiropractors still teaching this. It's not true. In order to change the alignment, like if a tire is on a car not straight, the tire wears out unevenly. Everybody wants to try to say something's wrong with the tire. I'm the guy who just wants to fix the alignment. long term, if you leave inflammation in a joint, it attracts calcium. So acid is negatively, lactic acid is negatively charged, calcium is positively. And so 10, 20, 30 years of leaving soreness in here, eventually the bones will grow.
Yeah.
And then they call that stenosis, or the bone spurs are hitting a nerve. That's when you start getting the sciatica. So the health care would be just even that symptom of, hey, maybe it doesn't hurt when you're moving, but it hurts when you're rotating. That means the joint's inflamed, and that means the joint's going to start growing. And then by 50, 60, all of a sudden, hey, my foot's feeling heavy, my leg is feeling numb, or I have pain down my legs. Well, that should have been addressed way before. Just the symptom of it hurts down here, or it maybe it doesn't hurt until I rotate, but that's enough to warrant, hey, there's too much stress on your lower back. Let's aim you back to the curved position. We call it the ideal alignment, and then we're not going to be under that stress. There we go. Hands in your belly, deep breath in. I got you. Exhale. It's okay. There we go. There we go. All right, deep breath in. I got you. Exhale. All right, good. Other side for me. Good. I'm not going too crazy on this one because I want to be careful not to move this guy. I want to move the joint below and above without moving so much the area that's injured. Breathe. There it is. Good. These guys up here. That joint's tight. All right, face that for me. My whole life I've been taught to value our health of our spine, and in a world where we literally don't value it until it's broken, and then we say, uh-oh, something's wrong. It's like,
Right.
you don't treat your car that way. You don't wait till smoke comes out before you take it in for service. You don't treat your teeth that way. You actively brush before there's hopefully cavities. But with our spine, we're kind of left to, mostly in America, to wait till there's a problem. All right, I got a big lump here on the right here. Right here. Oh, not there. Let's see how it moves here. I'm going to start with the right there. Gotcha. Real easy. Good. Okay, good. Good. Let that go. Breathe. I wanted to assess how it felt cold. And I think if you massage me first, it might move a lot better. And the answer is correct, but I wanted to see, I wanted to put the key in the ignition and just see what happens if I try to fire it up without popping the hood and messing with anything first. I want to see how it moves stock. And we have limited function here. Hence why when you turn your neck, you're feeling your lower neck, in the trap. The muscles are going to try to protect. So part of that is lower neck joints being inflamed. The muscles are trying to stabilize everything, and they're going to get tight and spasmy and sore, partly because the head's forward, but also partly because your body's trying to protect injured joints. Now, if the upper neck was working optimally and really the way it's supposed to, the lower neck wouldn't be overstressed to begin with. It wouldn't be inflamed. And so this limited motion up here, right at the skull up here, the subocciput, we're going to be spending some time up here. And this is supposed to be the loosest joint in your spine, right there. And I got a pretty strong thumb, and it feels like I'm out in the parking lot pushing on some concrete. It's way too stiff right there. And I'll show you the curve. So your neck belongs, and life takes us out of this position. And so our spine needs to be reminded how to be here. It's not your fault. It's just the commonality of our work and life just doesn't require that position very often. We have to look down way more often than we're looking up, and then we get out of the right alignment slowly. It's like a drift. Yeah, you're just pinching this, so if I can get this rib down a little bit, get this channel opened up, it'll feel a little better, but like that needs to be pushed down. See, the loose side will get looser faster than the stiff side will get. So you actually can further imbalance people if we worked on everything evenly. Even though that was nice. You spent 5 minutes on the right side of my neck and spent 5 minutes on the left side. Well, actually, I further imbalanced you because the loose side got looser much faster. And so the disparity between the right and left sides of your neck the contrast will actually get larger. So we want to be careful with, care on the left. But yeah, that knot right there needs to go down. That. Right there. I was 12, 13 years old. My dad said, "Get in here and work on my neck." This model spine is, your back is very similar to my father's. It was like the first car I worked on was this model. The, large neck, muscular neck, body. This was like the first. Then it's like if I could fix this car, then I can fix any car kind of idea. If I can work on this neck, then all other necks feel easy.
You from here in Sarasota?
Been here pretty much my whole life. Yeah, my parents are from Maryland, and I was born in Iowa. My dad was in school up there, but pretty much been here my whole life. It took 102 years for chiropractors to realize that stretching is how your posture is made worse. It's stretching that fixes it. So the adjustment is a tool to make the spine limber. If we don't get the ear over the shoulder, if we don't get the curve in the neck, that ultimately we're not going to get anywhere. And so I don't treat symptoms, I treat posture. Right? And when we aim your spine closer to the right posture, there aren't any symptoms. The symptoms go away. Already coming out right there. So it's like an idle screw of an engine. You got the idle screw supposed to be set to like 600, 700 RPMs. You got it set to like 3,000 here. Right? So the engine's like producing a lot of exhaust, which is lactic acid, which is then going to cause pain. And so you can keep trying to get the exhaust out, or you can just turn down the idle screw, and then there won't be so much exhaust. But yes, to some degree, there's a daily buildup, and just like our teeth, we have to daily clean our teeth. And if that bothers people, like say, "Welcome to Earth," it's like, well, every day I have to wash my dishes, and every day I have to. Welcome to Earth. Part of life here, but it shouldn't be so excessive. You shouldn't be building up this quickly, and that's the point they're trying to make. It's an excessive, accelerated buildup that's happening. Notice on his neck, Carlin, that the main crease is down here. So this is what we're trying to do. We need to make this fold. Does that make sense? The way it's supposed to. Part of when you brought your head back and why it hurt was because this is bending too much. The skin bending is just a kind of an evidence of what's bending vertebrae-wise underneath, and so that's why I spent so much time at the top trying to loosen that. The more power you put into adjustment, the less accurate it is. It's probably like a golf swing, right? The harder you swing, you're going to lose accuracy, right? So it's the same thing with an adjustment. The point that I'm trying to make is I shouldn't have to try to drive the ball that far. You understand? Like, I'm way too far away from the green here. As we bring your posture back to where it's supposed to be, the adjustments go easier because the distance isn't so far. But I can see the distance, and I'm like trying to Tom Brady throw it 80 yards. It's like, it's like, well, the target should only be 20 yards away, and then it's an easy adjustment. It's an easy throw. But when you're seeing a large subluxation, you get like, okay, let's try to heave this thing. Hail Mary. Your accuracy goes down. Yeah, these are, like I said, I'm happy that, what's your age again?
Say again?
What's your age?
49.
49, it's 40, pretty good that you feel something in here. I'm glad you feel. Most 49-year-olds have no awareness of their middle back. This is long past lockdown, and all they feel is the lower back and glute. Like the fact that if you feel something in here means that we're not too far down the rabbit hole of overcooking the lower back. This, it's tight, but it's at least talking to me. It's not comatose. And I'm going to teach you in a minute how to keep this area working. All right. If I'm going too hard, please let me know, okay?
No, you're good.
All right, I'm going to keep going deeper. I spend hours on my dad's back right here. This is his spot. This is his. There it is, right there. They found within 10 days of a joint not moving, it starts to build up crystals and plaque, meaning not long. It doesn't take a... I didn't do anything, Ed. Correct. It takes 10 days for some sandpaper to build up in here. Restricting it, you know. There we go. I'm looking to any vertebrae in here to help us out. Can anybody else come to the job site and help us take the stress off the ones that are injured? Big difference here. I mean, so you're saying it was the right hip that hurt more?
Well, lately I've just noticed.
Should be left hip.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, when I rotated, I felt it more on my left.
On the left, yeah, because this is all bound up here. If I was gonna guess, this actually doesn't feel. I thought this left felt tight until I got over here. Usually this will be left lower abuse from that. All right, we'll check it. Let's see. Come on. Surgically, this is like a desert in here. They never operate in here, and so it's all the more reason why I want to pick on it, because the more we can keep this working, the more it extends the life of 99% of surgery is right there at the bottom.
Sure.
So even if I don't see any injuries on imaging on the lower back, I still don't want to touch it because we already know which ones are the most likely to go first. And then even if I do see disc injury in here, they are usually inconsequential anyway. They still don't touch them or work on them. So there we go. Kind of represents the old blunt injuries that happened in here. There it is. Like I'd say this is probably the oldest one, right? Something happened on that right side of your neck and then right there. Older brothers? Older brothers?
Me?
You? Yeah.
I have a younger.
Just a younger brother, okay. Think about the older brothers like beating up the younger.
Beating up.
You know, in your formative years. I've seen it. One time I had three boys like, I don't know, let's say 3 years apart. One was like, I don't know, 13, 10, and 7, right? And the 13-year-old spine looked great. The 10-year-old spine was meh. The 7-year-old spine was like...
All jacked up.
I was like, so my dad was the lead on this one, and so he's looking at the mom, and they looked at the 13-year-old boy. He's like, "What did you do?" And then the mom was like, "Oh no, he's such a good boy." And some friends of the 13-year-old, so it was like other people that knew the 13-year-old, they were like, "Oh no, I'm over at his house, man. He beats up on his younger brothers." And I was like, "My dad was right." Okay. Kind of boring. It's just me hanging around here trying to chip away at this thing. Jeez. I'm starting to see the bottom of it. All right. This is gone, and now I'm just left with this right there. Yeah.
I didn't know that was there.
Jeez. It's the ones right next door that are frozen. Yet this is part of why your neck is beat up. Is the ones right next door are not showing up to work. This guy specifically on the right. That's the right upper neck, the right upper back. You gotta get some, wake these guys up a little bit. It's a volunteer system. If they don't volunteer, you don't notice them. And when they start volunteering, then the ones that are overworked will feel better. The stretching maintains it, kind of like a retainer the orthodontist gives you to keep your teeth from going crooked again. The stretching I'm going to show you at the end of the visit, that's my retainer. The difficulty is that if your back is so stiff, it's hard to go very deep. And we just start at a lighter level and see where we have to begin.
Wow.
Gee whiz. This is your hip. This is. I mean, this is what's causing your hip. My point is that it's so obvious. This is nice and this is relatively supple over here, and then this is something bad happened here. Right there. See the previous marks of cupping I see here now. Let's see how it comes out. Yeah, there it is. Unless the cupping mark cleared, they missed it by an inch. The cup was here, but the that's why I like to wash off. You don't miss anything. Unless there could have been a mark there and it disappeared, but usually it would take the longest to disappear because there's the most inside is right. There shouldn't be much of anything on this side. This way. There's not much there. There's not much anything there. This is abused with the restrictions right there. That's going to be our goal, is getting the dental and maybe starting with the roller, getting it. We're starting up here and we're going to try to bring it down and teach you how to emulate my elbow as best as possible and hold pressure on that and resolve and untangle whatever injury happened right there. A little bit right there. You know where it's at. See, if this joint here moves, the tissue stays clean. So they call this the sacroiliac joint. That's what I was trying to adjust on your side. If this joint moves, then there's not going to be sore. First of all, the lower back's not going to be overstressed, but the tissue will actually clean itself faster based on the mobility of this joint. And that would be our, probably by visit 6. You understand? The idea would be to get this joint moving. Sitting locks this joint, and not much in life requires this to move, and so it ends up just quitting on us. Yeah, they've got you all. I mean, there's little pieces here and there, but they've got most of the big chunks out of here. Just a couple little, like right here. There's some above, right where the cupping mark end, right above it, right there. This is clean here, but then right here it's got some. So I think, like I said, the main component is just teaching you how to stretch. I think you gotta get you stretching. Yeah, this actually feels great, but it's abused. You understand? This is relative to the right side where it's all tight. This is all. There's not much restriction here. If I didn't know better, something collided with you. You're saying something hit you here when you were a teenager?
Oh, you're talking about a long time ago.
Yeah. Oh no, it's formative. Had to be before 26. I would guess more like 18, 16 to 18. Something, hit this. It got injured, and then your body tilted left, and it was just a compensation. But there's I call this a bomb going off. Something happened here. Something busted. Because it's not so much the rib heads, it's mainly just the vertebrae. So it came from maybe less so from the side, but right straight in the back, or like a whiplash, or your body flew forward, or falling off a go-kart, or I don't know. Something happened right there.
Bucked off a horse.
There it is. There it is. There, I got you. That's all my body weight, bud. Can't you go a little harder? No, I can't. That was all
I don't
180.
need any more.
That was all 185, 190 of me, or whatever. That's it. There's nothing left in the tank. But
Are you trying to get that to move?
yes, sir. Yeah, and squeeze the fluid out. There's fluid on the right. I'm trying to squeeze it out, and then there's adhesions because of this old injury there, right there, and that's causing the hips. Do you understand? This is you're chasing carrots trying to deal that. This has to be resolved up here first. If there's any hope for the hips to be healthy, this has to be resolved. Go ahead and turn your head left and right like you did earlier. Tell me. How does it feel?
Feel that
On the
one.
left side, yeah.
Yeah,
Or bring your head back. See how it feels?
that's better.
A little better. Do that same thing, twist again. We're going to stretch in a second, but in one move there. Yeah. All right.
A little better.
All right. Now have it on your back for me. I'm going to check some more things, and then
Okay.
I'll get you stretching. All right, we'll check it. Okay, good. It's moving.
It was.
Oh, yeah, definitely more restriction in this angle. They didn't put any rods or anything, right? They just kind of.
We did,
They did?
and I had it removed.
Good, excellent. Okay, I got you. Yeah, there's definitely. There we go. This helps the drain lines that drain your sinuses. Go ahead and tilt your head left. There we go. Go ahead and tilt left. Tilt.
Tilt left.
Yep, we got it. Good. Okay, good. Tilt right. Okay, tilt right. Okay, good. All right, that should be good. There you go. Okay. Yeah. Let's try to put the arms over to the side a little bit. Just relax your shoulders. There you go. And then keep the bottom down. And then go ahead and try to push with your feet and roll upwards. So you're going to roll upwards. You're going to push. That makes sense? Keep the butt down. Keep the butt down.
Keep it up.
But you're does that make sense? Every minute you're going to move 1 inch downwards, down your spine. And let's try to go another couple. Let's go like 2 inches. Let's try to roll upwards. Roll upwards. Keep the butt down. There you go. Good. Stay right there. Good. 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 All right. Good. Keep the feet together. Knees together. Let's bring your knees left slowly. Bring your knees left. Rotate. Come on. Stretch. There you go. And I kind of would just hang out doing this for like a month. You understand? Just being able to move around. You got work to do. Just mastering. There you go. Good. Keep that. Yeah, try to keep that butt down. Good. Yeah, no lifting. If your butt lifts, you're too low. That makes sense? If your butt comes off, you can't keep that butt down. That's probably as low as we go right there. I don't want you going any lower than that. But yeah, now you're starting to. Perfect. Yeah, here we go. Breathe that right side. That's the one right there. Now you're compressing that knot on that right side. And let's just stay in the middle for about 1 minute. Just stay right here. See if you can hang out here for about a minute. Introducing and interweaving this in your life, not living your whole day working and then going home and sitting in a recliner. Do you understand? It's just, none of this is going to work. So some of your tension is posture, but some of it is, that's that right side, that's an injury. That's your body expecting another trauma and it's got it all tightened up. That needs to be addressed mechanically. The postural tension is addressed with the rollers and the stretching. That tension can only go away by getting you back upright. And with that, you feel more. In terms of back, you'll feel your back, but your back is going to last a lot longer. So,
That's my
pleasure. All right, thank you. All right.